Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here deep within Orlando, not at Mickey's Place, but we are here at this convention center location with that iconic German brand. What are we talking about? We're talking about the brand and this car right here. This is it. This is a 2025 updated, changed up, refreshed Golf GTI, and it's got some big changes for this model year. But before we get into the original hot hatch, let's talk about what's going on here. So it goes all the way back to the 1980s. The invention of the GTI, it really was that hopped up version of the Golf. Nice to see that it continues on for model year 2025. Now, one of the big zonks is that there's no longer a manual transmission available. Now, does that make it any less of a hot hatch? Well, let's see what changes that they made and how it compares to the competition, especially for the price point. Let's go ahead, let's dive into this GTI and see what's new. Right off the bat, you have that familiar shape. I mean, talk about really a design sticking to its foundation of what the vehicle is all about. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna see the changes real quickly. Headlight housing, all new. You got your daytime running lamps, and I like the way it runs all the way across the front brow. Of course, GTI, Grand Touring injected, you're gonna have the red trim also extending all the way across, and then there are those three famous letters. Now, what's interesting is that technically on the car, it doesn't say Golf anywhere besides this front nameplate, which obviously this wouldn't be here on the one that you buy. It just says GTI. Working our way down, you still are gonna get that really interesting location of all the LED fog lamps. I like the way they used up that fake grille area. I just wish they would have trimmed this back just a little bit more, but the way they bring the color in is where it shows that attention to detail. Now, as we come across the front, you have that LED brow with the red trim. There's that Volkswagen badge, fully illuminated. I think this was a smart decision, especially where they're using the illuminated badges on their ID4, ID7, and of course the upcoming ID Buzz. Down below, full functionality with your intercooler behind there. You can see we have a forward-facing camera, and I like the way they brought some of the red to the lower lip. Now, as we rise up, clean style, just a nice simple curve, simple clean lines, gives you that elegant touch. Now, when we come around the bend, we got new wheels and tires. So what you're gonna find on our GTI here is this very intricate, it's almost like a rotary dial off a telephone. It's kind of giving me some Alfa Romeo vibes. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Let me know in the comment section, but it's a 19-inch wheel. You got these machined aluminum, and that's the rotary dial. For those that have never used a rotary dial phone, that's where you would put your finger and then turn the dial for the number. But it's growing on me. The more that I've been staring at it while I've been here, it's been growing on me more and more. Now, of course, you got the GTI badge in the center, some nice red calipers, and what's great is a few years ago, they decided to upgrade those brakes to Golf R-size brakes, which is gonna help with your braking. Still front-wheel drive, still has a limited slip diff, just no availability of a manual transmission. Now, tires, 235 on the width, 35 series sidewall, and let me know, like I said, what you're thinking about the style of the wheel. Now, as we come down the side, they got rid of that extra trim. I don't know if you remember, there was trim on the front door and into the front fender. Now it just says GTI. I think that really cleans it up. Don't need extra things stuck on the car. From the side of the vehicle, it really has those nice dimensions that it makes it the perfect daily driver, but also a car that's gonna be fun to drive as well. Now, coming towards the rear on this particular Autobahn trim, you have that oversized sunroof. One of my things is I wish they would just paint the whole roof black. They paint the front, you obviously have the tinted glass, and then the rest is the body color. I don't know, I think especially like if this Golf GTI was white, the black roof would really give it a nice look. But like I said, those clean lines, you have flat black along the lower side sill. One of the differences between the GTI and the Golf R is that side skirt extension is all painted, and it's a different shape for 2025. Now, when we come around the back, just like we started, super clean. You have that long roof spoiler, just with a little bit of kick up, and that's where they're gonna place your third brake light at the rear of the vehicle, nice and high. Does anybody know when the third brake light became required? That was 1986. It was DOT required. Love the work that they've done on these taillights. I mean, this really brings a nice upscale feel to the back of the car. You got the GTI badge, nothing else, and then dropping it like it's hot. I love the dual outlet exhaust with the nice polished tips, something that is a signature look, and they're real functioning exhaust tips, which are great. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and find out if there's any more horsepower for 2025. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, but all the competitors, the Elantra and the GR Corolla, the Type R, they all have prop rods as well. Underneath the hood, no engine cover on this, and I'm not sure if the production version will have an engine cover on the GTI, but it does show you what a modern engine looks like with all the tubes, the wires. You can see your ignition control modules for each of the cylinders, and of course by the firewall here, there's that turbocharged engine. Now, unlike the Golf R, we're not getting extra horsepower for 2025 in the GTI, so you're still going to get 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, no more manual transmission. And remember, when it comes to your overall performance, what are we going to find? 0 to 60, if you are knowing what you're doing, 0 to 60 is going to come right around 5.7 seconds. And like I said, horsepower is 241 horsepower with that 7-speed DSG, and the power going only to the front wheels. So something to think about. Not extra horsepower like the Golf R, but you still have a very usable platform for adding extra power to it. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what changes there are for 2025. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Volkswagen GTI. Like I said, grand turning injected, the original hot hatch. I know you're saying, well, Joe, what about MSRP? How much is this? No official pricing yet, but stay tuned. We'll be bringing it to you. Guesstimates say it's going to start right around $34,000, which is pretty close to what it is currently for the 2024 model year. But let's see what 2025 brings to the door panels. I like the addition of the new materials. You're going to have that almost like a silverish carbon fiber look, but it's not trying to be carbon fiber with the soft touch. You have that Alcantara gray in the center, and then a very comfortable armrest, no gloss black, door pocket large enough easily for 2 quarter-pounders with cheese and a large fry in there without a problem. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you got the Harman Kardon sound system, soft touch, and there's that material. Like I said, it's like a silverish carbon fiber. There is ambient lighting, it's just not illuminated right now. And what's great is you're going to see the new infotainment system. So this is almost 13 inches, a 12.9 infotainment system. Obviously, turning it on, you have those easy swipe features. I would love to show you the modes. It's just we're sitting here with the car in an inverter and we can't do that. You're still going to have those tap controls for your AC, and we do have 3 stages of heated seats for both passenger and driver. But it's got that floating iPad style. Working your way down, you have your quadrant of buttons, climate, mode selector, all those goodies. Down below, you got a little bit of a golf badge, 2 USB-Cs, and wireless charging. And I kind of like this lid here that kind of hides it, because it allows you to put another phone on top. You got your start-stop button. That little nub is for your 7-speed DSG. No more manual transmission, bye-bye manual. You got a place, obviously, for, I would say, 4 Tootsie Rolls. Cup holder. And then you got a little tiny nook there where you could keep your class ring that you have in your favorite little ring box right there from high school. 12 volt, red stitching because we're in a GTI. Lift it up, you could easily put, I would say, 4 Beanie Babies in there if you smash them in there. And then, of course, the seats, the cloth, the bolstering. This is where the GTI really stands out, is the fit and finish and the materials. Of course, we have manual control for the passenger, manual controls for the driver, and you have that nice size sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this GTI. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have that great pedal box, like always. Nice large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Manual seat controls in this one, but they're easy to sort out and figure out. And once you kind of set it, you could forget it. The seats have great bolstering, especially lateral. Steering wheel, love the leather 2-piece. You have the perforated, the smooth. We got new buttons, so you don't have to worry about those pesky buttons anymore that were on the previous model year, especially right here on the corner. I would always hit that heated steering wheel button. GTI. It is manual tilting and telescoping wheel. You have the same paddles, and they are quite small to go up and down the 7-speed DSG. And then of course you have that 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster, which will bring up all your different modes. There it is with the tachometer right there in the center, which is great. But let's just check one more time, see what the room is like in the back seat of the GTI. All right, guys, this thing is just like it was the first year. You get the power, you get the usability back here. I'm 6 feet tall, lots of great space. Cloth on the back, that may be a challenge if you have kids. If they pick their nose, this is gonna be hard to clean, but you know what? You got nice pockets. You could put maybe their phone up here if they have a phone, or you could put, I would say, little notepads so that they could draw. Let kids be creative. Put some notepads in the back and some markers and stuff, because creativity is going right out the window. I'm surprised there's not an app for creativity, which would make me want to throw up if there was. Like the little command center, the AC vents. This is a touch feel on the AC controls. It's just not illuminated because I don't have the car on and running. USB-C's easily located. Seats are comfy. They really get the seats great. You do have, like Lori showed, the tunnel here, but that's only for the Golf R because this is front-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, and I'm really digging the pattern. The way they're doing this plaid design is spectacular with the room, but let's get into the cargo area and show you just how usable this vehicle is. All right, guys, just to show you once again that when you open up the back cargo area, so usable. Oh, here's what we were looking for. There is the engine cover. That needs to go underneath the hood, not in the back. But you got your seats that fold down very easily. Storage underneath, no spare though. So something to be aware of. You do not get a spare. You get a spare engine cover. That's what you get. But that's what makes the GTI so successful, is the blending of the use, the blending of the power, and of course, the new technology that's inside the GTI and the updated style. But let me know what you think. Had they hit the nail on the head with the GTI, would you get this over the competition? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Of course, we need to thank Lori Raiti for working that camera like a champ. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.